Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to create a safe space in your classroom. I've heard of it called a safe space or a calm down corner or a cool down corner, but today I'm going to call it a safe space and I'm going to talk to you about the purpose of it, what you can do in the safe space, and why it's awesome. So my safe space, it's targeted for elementary age kids. So sometimes in PE, it can cause students to get a little bit triggered, whether it's simply from the movement or just the competitive nature of the class. So my safe space is an area where students can go in a self-directed way, and this area will help them regulate and calm themselves down before they're ready to enter PE again. So if you walk into my gym, you can see a door against the wall that you're looking at when you walk in, and that's my office. And so in my office, I have a small student desk, and so that's where I'm going to have the safe space be. It's right by the door so that I can keep an eye on the students, but it's also somewhat secluded so that they can feel like they're having a little bit of privacy instead of in the open space of the gym. So the goal of the safe space ultimately is to help build resilience so that students can feel like if they're feeling overwhelmed at school, that they can have some control of their emotions to step away and go into a little secluded area and calm down. And eventually, the goal of teaching them that it's okay to take a step away, the goal is that they eventually will be able to do it without having to go into a space like that, to where they can just notice when they're getting really upset and take some deep breaths and not have to go into a space like that. This safe space fosters the idea of building a resilience-based classroom, which enhances cognitive learning, but it also enhances their social emotional learning so that they're able to learn as much as they possibly can. So, what will the safe space look like, and what are the strategies for calming? So, like I said, the desk is right by the door. It's kind of in a little corner, but it's right by the door, and it has a little chair. And then, so when they're sitting at the chair, they're kind of looking into the gym, but then they're also looking at a wall. So on that wall, I will have some posters that'll help them guide regulation, which I'll show in a couple slides later. I'll have a little pillow on the chair so they can feel a little bit more comfy. I'll also have what's called a mermaid pillow, which again, I'll describe a little bit later. A mind jar to help them calm down. Again, I'll explain that a little bit later. And then a mindful coloring sheet so that they can use the regulation tool of coloring while also taking some time to reflect. And then I'll have a lamp so that if they want to turn the lights off and have a little bit more of a calm light, they can do that. Sorry for the pixely pictures, but these are just a couple examples of the posters that I would have on the wall. So in the left-hand corner, 8 ways kids can calm down anywhere. So it says, just a couple examples are count to 5, take a deep breath, blow into your hands, stuff like that. The next one is a little bit more helpful for younger students, like kindergarten and first grade, for students that can't read as well. So it does have writing. So it says, I am strong, I'm kind, I'm brave, I'm friendly, and I'm wise. But then it also has some yoga poses that are safe for them to do in my office. And the yoga poses represent it. So I'm strong, and they're standing with their feet apart and their arms open. And all these help regulate their breathing while also calming them down. So as I said earlier, I'll have something called a mermaid pillow. It's hard to see in the picture, but they have little tiny, almost like beads. And if you pet the pillow one way, it'll turn it silver, just the example in the picture. And if you pet it the other way, it'll turn it blue. It's just kind of a regulation tool. It calms some people down to just go back and forth and see the colors turn. You can also, as the fingers show, you can kind of write with it. Another thing that's super easy to make is called a mind jar. So you just get either a water bottle or a jar, and you fill it with hot water, and then you put glitter glue, regular glue, little beads, and then you use a hot glue gun to put the lid on top so that the kids can't open it. Once it's all ready to go, when the kids are upset, they shake it until the glitter as you can see on the left, is all mixed up, and then they watch it settle, which is a way that can help them calm down. Here's an example of a reflection sheet, self-regulation reflection sheet that I found. It's called My Cupcake. So the students can draw or color on the cupcake. They can color the word my. They can even color in the background if they want. But then it also has some reflection questions, like things that help me feel calm, places I feel calm, I am. And then that is kind of an open-ended question where they can write their emotion, or they can write like I am strong, I'm powerful, or they can say like I'm sad. So it's kind of a cool exercise for them to use when they're feeling a little bit more ready to enter the class. So when I'm teaching students about, how to use the safe space, first of all, I'm just going to teach them that it's okay to need a break. Like, we all have strong emotions sometimes, and it's okay to take a minute and collect yourself before you're ready to come back into learning. Because ultimately, we don't want to make it hard at school. We want to make you feel safe, and we want to help lighten the load, and teachers are trying to be helpful of students. So when I'm teaching students about the safe space, I'm first going to have them think about times when they've felt like their emotions are just a little bit too challenging for them to learn. And then I'd give them an example, like maybe my friend didn't want to play with me at recess and I was already having a really bad day. And so when I came into class, I just felt like I couldn't handle it anymore, and my friend is in that class with me. So that's an example of maybe why they might feel dysregulated. So then I would pretend like I'm the student, and I would demonstrate how to enter the safe space. And then I would pick a tool, the piece of equipment, as in like the mermaid pillow or the mind jar, or maybe the yoga poses. I would pick a strategy like that. I would notice how I'm feeling. And then once I felt like I was ready to enter the classroom again, I would come up to the teacher, say, I'm feeling ready. This is the strategy I used. And then the teacher would fill them in on what they missed. Another thing I would teach them is what not to do. So, for example, if they're really angry, they're not supposed to go in and slam the door because they're so mad and throw everything when they're in there. Also, they're not supposed to go in there to avoid work. So if they're feeling like, ooh, we're doing jump rope and I'm really bad at jump rope and I don't want to get made fun of, so I'm just going to go in there. That's not the intent of the safe space. So I'm going to teach them that as well. And again, after they've been in the safe space and they're ready to re-enter, they're supposed to come up and talk to me about what strategy they used, what they missed, and how they're feeling now that they're ready. Here are my references. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that maybe you can apply this to your classroom, because this is really, really great for kids. And again, the goal is that they can eventually regulate within their own mind and they won't even need this anymore. All right, thank you.